Hi, Quinn. Thank you for coming to talk to me today.
You're welcome.
So, what did you wanna talk about today?
I wanted to talk about sometimes when I get angry and I have a flip out.
Okay, so sometimes you feel angry and you flip out. What does flip out mean? Tell me what that looks like.
Like when I cry and I get really angry and mad, it
Mhm.
makes me really frustrated, and I try to get what I want, but sometimes I just can't, and your cuddles makes it better.
Okay, so sometimes when you feel like you're not getting what you want, you start to flip out, as you call it. You feel angry and you start to cry.
Yeah,
What else do you do in
But
that?
sometimes I don't really do it. I'm just okay, fine.
Yeah, so sometimes you have a tantrum and sometimes you don't. Okay. So what kind of other things happen when you're having a tantrum besides crying?
Like I get sometimes I just go to my room.
Does that make it better when you go to your room?
I just find in there, and then I go back looking very grumpy, and I grunt a lot, and I don't really respond.
Okay, so going to your room doesn't really help. It maybe helps you to stop crying, but you kind of don't really talk and you kind of grunt and stuff at people.
Yeah,
Okay. So what are some other things that you try to do when you're feeling angry?
Sometimes I just try to make me get your cuddles.
Okay, so sometimes getting cuddles from mommy, does that help it to make it better sometimes?
It works, but still sometimes I just get a bit frustrated, and then I go a bit better, and then I get it over with.
Okay, so sometimes it makes it a little bit better, and sometimes you just start to get over the angry feeling. Okay, so what else sometimes helps you to get over the angry feeling?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay. What are some things that make you get that angry feeling? Like, can you give me an example of a situation where you start to feel angry?
Like if Anna wants to play with a doll that I want to play with, then I start to feel really angry, and I just try to get it, and then a parent shows up and tries to stop it.
Okay, so sometimes when maybe like your sister is playing with something you want to play with, you get upset and you will try to take it from her, and then you start fighting, which makes you more and more angry.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about some other ways maybe that you can or that you've dealt with that situation other than trying to take the doll from her?
So like I try to I just sit there and whine and just hope that I'll get it.
So sometimes you kind of whine and just hope that your sister will give you the toy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that stop you from feeling angry?
No, because it doesn't ever work because my sister just wants to play with it.
Okay, so that's something you tried that doesn't really work. What are some of the other things that you've tried?
And that's the only thing that I've tried.
Okay, have you tried anything that works?
I don't really, because usually an adult shows up.
Okay, and what does an adult do when they show up?
Like they tell us to stop fighting and talk about it and blah blah blah.
Okay, and so do you end up talking it out with your sister?
We try to figure out who's gonna get it, and then we're just trying to play with it.
Okay, so talking it out with your sister has helped, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about trying that more? Trying to talk it out with your sister. So instead of feeling angry and throwing a tantrum, instead of taking it from your sister, instead of just sitting there pouting, hoping she gives it to you, what do you think would happen if you tried talking it out with her first?
I think that we would try to. Sometimes I usually just fine with it, so Anna usually gets her way.
Okay. So how does that work out where you just give in to your sister? What happens then?
What do you mean?
Like the times that you just say, oh, Anna, you can have whatever you want.
I just feel a bit angry because like Anna just always wants stuff that I usually want, so like I'm just fine.
Oh, so you give in so that it stops the fight, but you still feel angry because you gave in with what you wanted. Yeah.
But sometimes we'll take turns. Like one time in Sims, we wanted the same cape. Daddy said to take turns in each time so we can have it both.
Okay, so what did you think of that advice? Taking turns.
That helped like me when we're before the morning snack, and then Anna, and then after 3 o'clock snack me, and after 7 o'clock snack Anna.
Okay, and so taking turns with whatever toy it is has helped you to not feel as angry and gave you both the opportunity to play with the toy. Okay, so what do you feel like you might want to do next time? You know, your sister's maybe playing with something that you want, or you're not getting your way. What do you think you can do?
We could try to take turns, but if Anna doesn't like that, then I wouldn't know what to do.
Okay, so you feel like you might have one option that you could take turns, but that you know, if that doesn't work out, you kind of feel maybe a little stuck.
I would just probably let Anna get her way.
Okay, so it sounds like you let your sister get her way a lot. How does that impact you when you let your sister get her way all the time?
It kind of makes me feel a bit sad about it, but sometimes like the parent takes away the toy.
Okay, and so does that help the situation when the parent takes away the toy?
But sometimes we say that it's one of ourselves' faults just because they wanted it.
Okay, so sometimes the compromise doesn't work out. Okay. What are some of the reasons that you feel like you have to give in when you're fighting with your sister?
What does that mean?
Like you end up letting her have her way. What are some of the reasons that you let her have her way?
It's because I just want to stop the fight, and I think that when I'm older, I'll get a bit more than just a little.
Okay, so it helps to stop the fight. What are some other ways that might help to stop the fight other than just giving in to your sister, letting her have her way all the time?
I don't know.
Okay. Have you ever thought about maybe speaking up for yourself and saying, well, last time you ended up getting your way, maybe this time I can get my way?
Usually, I don't know. Like, usually Anna just really wants stuff that we fight about, so it doesn't really work. She just, I don't know.
Do you feel like she wants it more than you?
We both want it a lot, so it's like the same thing, but I don't.
So you end up giving in to her and not getting what you want. And that seems to make you pretty sad and sometimes even pretty angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what are some things that you can do to not feel quite so sad and feel so angry?
Maybe to take turns.
Okay, so taking turns seems to be the best way that you've found so far. Okay. What are some other things that you can think of?
Maybe like setting a timer on the machine.
Okay.
And when it rings, then the other person gets in, and the other person gets in after it.
Okay, so that's like another way to share, right? Setting the timer. Okay. And so what do you feel like that says about you, that you try to compromise, you try to work things out, and you try to share?
What does that mean?
Well, what do you think that means about you? What kind of person do you think that makes you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you for chatting today.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Bye. What's the cool